There's been a lot of debate on how the racket should look during the backswing. For example, Roger Federer's racket often points downward with a compact loop. Jannik Sinner's racket goes more back, giving him a longer, more modern swing path. And if you go back a few decades, Andre Agassi's racket used to point more sideways, towards the side fence. So, why do these differences exist? To truly understand that, we need to separate the fundamentals from the style, which depends on the player's grip, rhythm, and personal preference. What is the backswing and why it matters? The backswing is the part of your forehand where you take your racket back in order to prepare to swing forward. It's not just about taking the racket back though, it's about setting up the right position, timing, and energy for your swing. No matter the style, every pro shares a few essentials. Early preparation. Start your takeback as soon as you recognize the incoming ball direction. Ideally, your racket should be back and ready by the time the ball bounces on your side of the court. Spacing. Keep a comfortable gap between your hitting arm and your body. This gives you space to swing freely and generate natural power without jamming yourself. Compact and controlled. The racket doesn't need to go too far behind your body. Think of it as reaching just around your body's midline. That's where you can transition smoothly into the forward motion. Shoulder turn and coil. Your body rotation does most of the work. Turn your shoulders sideways, with your non-dominant arm helping you to stay balanced and aligned. With the fundamentals out of the way, now let's talk about why top players look so different in their backswing. Roger Federer uses an Eastern grip, which promotes a more classic, compact swing. His racket points downwards during the takeback, as if he's petting a dog. This is an unusual position for a forehand, as he has to invert the position of his racket in order to hit the ball. This allows for a lot of whip and power, but this is not an easy thing to do. And this is why it's not recommended to copy Federer's forehand at a recreational level. Jannik Sinner uses a semi-western grip. His racket points more towards the back fence. This longer swing path allows for more spin and acceleration, fitting today's heavy topspin baseline game. But this is a very hard backswing to do, as he has to completely flip his racket from this position to this position, which takes a lot of flexibility and can put a lot of strain on the elbow and the forearm. This backswing has worked well for Sinner, but it doesn't mean that it will work well for everyone. That is why this backswing is also not recommended for recreational players. Now, Andre Agassi has a relatively simple backswing, where the racket pointed more sideways. His motion relied on natural gravity, letting the racket drop smoothly into the slot without exaggeration. His backswing was efficient and repeatable. This is why this kind of racket takeback is highly recommended for recreational tennis players, as it's much more intuitive and simpler to use. These styles evolved from each player's grip, timing, and preferred rhythm. Federer plays with a short, compact swing. Sinner hits with more whip, and Agassi used a more smooth and circular motion. Their backswings naturally adapted to these preferences. So, at the end of the day, it's about finding what works for you. How should you position your racket in the backswing? The key is to stay within the fundamentals. Early preparation, good spacing, smooth shoulder turn, and let your style evolve naturally. Remember, the backswing isn't about copying someone else's shape. It's about building a motion that sets you up for clean and consistent forehands.